house is probably the biggest asset you own, and there are about 10 things your agent will never tell you before you list it, because being honest about them costs the agent money. I spent over $1.5 million marketing my own listings over the last 10 years. By the way, for Rachael and I have helped over 1,600 families right here in Snohomish County make a move. So I know exactly what gets said in that listing appointment and what gets left out. I'm going to pull the curtain back on all 10, and some of these are going to make other agents in my market genuinely unhappy with me. Stick around for number 6 especially, because that one decides how every offer on your house gets written before anyone even walks through the door. Let's get into it. Number 1, take credits off the price, not off closing costs. Start with one that's pure money, and almost no agent will bring it up. When you're giving a buyer a credit, whether it's for repairs, termite, whatever it is, take it off the purchase price instead of off of closing costs. Everything gets recalculated on that lower price. The commissions you pay, the title fees, here in Washington, the excise tax, which is a real number, it all is based off of the actual price. You also trim your capital gains exposure by doing this. Between the commissions and the taxes, it can save you as much as 8%. Your agent won't push for this because their commission drops when the price goes down. So you have to fight for it, and you have to do it early because the lender locks in quickly with the buyer once you go under contract. Now, if you're on the buy side, you want the exact opposite. You want the credits because $10,000 off the house is only about $90 a month difference in your payment, but that $10,000 towards a rate buy down could save you a couple $100 a month. Sellers want dollars off the price, buyers want the closing cost credits. Number 2, every commission is negotiable, but only before you sign. Number 2 is that there is absolutely no set commission in real estate, no matter what anyone tells you. Agents offer different packages, different services, and different experience levels, so of course they charge different rates. There is no standard. But the question isn't just what this agent charges, it's what am I actually going to get? Am I getting a rookie who's going to learn on my dime, or someone with a proven process who knows how to market and position and price my house and actually get it sold? The mistake people make is signing first and trying to negotiate later. Once you sign that listing agreement, it is binding and you're done negotiating. You can structure it any way you want beforehand. It can be a flat fee, it can include bonuses for hitting a price or a timeline. I've had clients say, Mike, if you sell my house in the first 30 days, there's a $10,000 bonus in it. Awesome, we write it in the contract, and now I'm really incentivized to get your house sold fast, and really excited as well. But whatever you agree to, it goes in writing before you sign, because after the offer comes in, it's far too late to negotiate that. Number 3, neighborhood expert is a marketing line. It doesn't really exist. Number 3 has been driving me crazy since I got into real estate, and it's agents branding themselves as neighborhood experts. There is no such thing. Agents either know the market and have a proven process for selling houses, or they don't. And that isn't unique to one particular neighborhood. I lost a listing a couple months ago to an agent who lives in that neighborhood, but has never sold a single house in their life. That seller is taking an enormous gamble because they think that living there means knowing something, that they're gonna somehow find a buyer for that exact neighborhood in that neighborhood. Think about who actually buys your house. Your buyer doesn't live in that neighborhood. They're out there somewhere, and it's the listing agent's job to get your house exposed in front of them, whether they're in your city, your state, or across the country. What you actually need is an agent who knows contracts forward and backward, that understands marketing inside and out, and knows how to hold the line in negotiation to get you top dollar. It's experience over proximity. We've got something like 19 different cities in Snohomish County, and while I know a lot about each one of them, I'd never claim to be the expert in any one particular neighborhood of them. What I can tell you is my marketing process, my pricing experience, and my track record work in any market or any submarket, because they aren't unique to just one street. Number 4, good agents avoid unrealistic sellers. Number 4 is why the best agent in your market might turn you down on your listing. I took a listing once that I really wanted, and those sellers were overpriced. 4 months, 30 open houses, 150 people through those open houses. They canceled, relisted with my competition, and went under contract in a week at the price I recommended in the first place, because you can't outmarket the wrong price. I'll say it again, you cannot outmarket the wrong price no matter what. Sometimes sellers have to feel the pain of sitting on the market before they will listen. And that's exactly why experienced agents hesitate to take listings from unrealistic sellers. I do this all the time. If I sit in someone's living room and I can tell they aren't going to do what I'm telling them on the house, the positioning or the price, or they're just uncoachable, I simply won't work with them. I just turned down a listing a couple weeks ago where the guy interviewed 5 agents, wanted to work with me. I just didn't have the right feeling about where he was going to go on price, and I just declined the listing. He was shocked. But I'll tell them that we're just not a good fit, and to go work with someone who's going to be a better fit for them, and I want to go work with someone that's motivated to sell their house. The fix is walking in with a plan A and a plan B. If we're going to list higher than I recommend, fine, but we're going to have a hard conversation about where the market is. We're agreeing right now that if we don't hit that in a certain number of showings or in the first week or two, we drop to the price I told you. I don't want to wait 30 days. The market is always sending a message and the agent is the messenger. So don't shoot the messenger. Listen to what the market is telling you. Number 5, marketing doesn't sell your house. Number 5, this one cost me money to admit. We spend more on marketing than almost anyone in our area, over $1.5 million in our listings in the last 9 years, and I still cannot sell an overpriced house. If a home is priced wrong, no amount of marketing fixes that, because the solution to a pricing problem is the price. 2 things sell a home, and that's presentation and price. Presentation is how your house looks when people walk in, everything from the staging to the condition to where the furniture sits to how it's decluttered and to how many personal items are sitting out. Price is how you compare to every other active competition that's in the market, because buyers shop by comparison. They look at your house and then every other house in that area, in that neighborhood, in the price range, and they offer on whichever one they feel like is the best value. Marketing amplifies presentation and price. It does not replace it. So quick pause here before number 6. If you're thinking about making a move, there's a link in the description with a short form. Tell us about your situation. My team and I will take a look at it. And if we think we're a good fit to work with you, myself or one of the agents on our team will reach out. Now, number 6, your agent's reputation decides how offers come in. Number 6 is the one that nobody's going to tell you, and it happens before a single offer is ever written. Inexperienced agents cost you real money, and they'll never walk in and tell you that they've never done this before. What you don't see is that when an offer comes in, the other side is looking up your agent's track record. Any agent can pull up any other agent anytime and see exactly how many homes they've sold this year, last month, like all of it. All the data is there. No, there's nothing that is hidden in the back end of the MLS. And when we see an experience, we always push harder. Every experienced agent does this, I promise you. We always look up the other agent before we offer. So your representation directly changes what you walk away with. If your agent is softer and experienced or has a weak reputation in the market, expect them to get pushed around, and you're going to pay for that in the final number. But if the market knows your agent is fair but firm and a fighter, offers come in sharper from the start, which is why their reputation and track record matter so much to your bottom line. Number 7, most agents don't give you honest feedback. Number 7 is that your agent probably isn't telling you what buyers actually said about your house. They either don't want to hurt your feelings or they're simply not following up with the buyers who walked through. Huge mistake. I don't understand this one, because feedback is truly a gift. You need to give your agent explicit permission to give you the hard stuff and be a truth teller, and you set that expectation up front. Every showing, every open house, you want the feedback when they get it. Without it, you're flying blind and you can't adjust anything. And don't take it personally either. A lot of sellers do. One person saying they don't like something doesn't mean you change a thing. But when you start seeing the same comment over and over again, that the floor plan's weird, the paint makes it hard to picture living there, it's cluttered, it's overpriced, that's a pattern that you need to pay attention to and a problem that you need to fix. Our team chases feedback on every showing, every open house, every agent preview, and we track all of it. Our active sellers get a report every single Wednesday, like clockwork, showing how many showings occurred and what every agent said that we got feedback from. We get responses about 50 to 60% of the time because we're very aggressive on the outreach. Number 8, ask what their buyer to seller ratio is. Number 8 is a question almost no seller thinks to ask and exposes everything. Listing and buyer representation are completely different skill sets. Photography, staging, pricing, strategy, positioning, relationships, all of that lives on the listing side, and you barely think about it when you're working with buyers. So ask any agent you're interviewing for a list of homes they've actually listed, then go pull them up online yourself. Look at the details. Does the photography look like a professional shot it, or like it's off of someone's iPhone? Do the homes look staged and optimized room by room, or cluttered, or even worse, completely empty? Is there a floor plan in the listing? Because people want to see a floor plan. An agent who's listing heavy will have zero problem sharing this with you. They don't have to work only with sellers, but you want about half their business or more to be listing based before you hand them your listing. Anything less, and you're gambling on whether they've got the skills and the process to get your home sold for top dollar. Number 9, agents are not trained designers. Number 9 is that there's no staging school in real estate licensing, and nobody mentions that. Some agents have a real eye for this, and some absolutely do not. So you have to validate yourself. Again, go look at their past listing photos and look closely. Is there a plunger sitting next to the toilet? Is the toilet seat up? I've seen that a ton. Is there cars in the driveway? Beds unmade? That tells you everything about how much care goes into listings and the attention to detail that agent has or doesn't have. So when I say staging, I don't just mean furniture in the rooms. I mean the overall presentation of the entire listing. Great agents bring in professional stagers because our job is to sell the house, not to decorate it. So pull up their 3 most recent listings and ask yourself honestly whether it looks half done or rushed, or whether every detail was thought through. Number 10, open houses do not sell your house. Number 10, and I'm going to be honest about my own industry here. Most agents don't love open houses, and open houses don't sell the house. The reason agents run these open houses is to pick up buyers, because they're hoping someone walks in without an agent. Now they've got a new client to go show other homes to. It's extremely rare that a buyer walks into an open house and offers on that home. Think about it from the buyer's side. Serious buyers have agents and they're touring privately on their own schedule. They're not wandering into open houses hoping to stumble upon their next house. Open houses mattered a lot more 25 or 30 years ago before the internet, when you had to physically show up to see what a house looked like. Now you get the full experience online, and that totally changed the game. I still do an open house the first weekend a house is listed, and the reason is very specific. If a buyer's agent is out of town that weekend, that agent can still send their buyer to my open house. They can see the property and the agent can write the offer. That's the purpose, but I don't run them every weekend because they simply do not sell the home. So what does this mean for you before you list? There are a few things to do before you ever even sign with anyone. First of all, interview at least 2 or 3 agents before you sign anything, because a second and third option changes your entire perspective. Like I said, that listing from a few weeks ago, the guy interviewed 5 different agents before he picked me. Be very cautious of the agent who tells you the highest number, because that's called buying the listing. They give you a number you'd love to be true. They know they can't get it, but they get your signature and they start hitting you with price reductions later on. It's unethical and it happens constantly, and we don't operate that way. I'd rather have a hard conversation with you up front about what your home is actually worth than to chase the market for the next 4 months with price reductions, trying to get the price down to a price a buyer's actually willing to pay. You get one chance to hit the market at the right price, and you have to get it right out of the gates. Ask for their listing portfolio and actually look at the photos and the presentation of each listing. Negotiate the commission and the structure before you sign and write it all into the agreement. And be cautious of any agent you can out-negotiate, because that person is about to negotiate on your behalf. And if you're better than they are, that's a serious problem for you. Then build your plan A, your plan B, your price, your terms, and a 30-day trigger or faster if the market says no to your price. I look at 2 things in the first week. First thing I look at is how many showings did we get? And what's the showing to offer ratio in this price range? Meaning how many showings typically happen before an offer comes in. If the average is 3 or 4 and we're getting 5 or 6 showings, I'm good on price. If we blow past the average with no offer, that tells me people like what they see online, but there's a mismatch in person, and that's a price problem. And if we're not even getting the showings, then it's either presentation, your photography and staging, or it's the price.